right, it is April 9th, 2026, and we're here for the Hudson Township Board meeting. Thank you for coming. We start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. I'm just going to make sure. Camera's rolling. Spend a moment. I do not have meeting minutes or bank statements. I did not send those out in advance. I will get that for the next meeting. So I figure we just move into old business. Anything we need to cover from times past?
I think everything's kind of leading into this summer and what we have plans to do in the future, really.
Has any more been said about annexation?
No, we're in a stalling pattern for
Okay.
that. We will have our rating by the end of the year. Now, whether they send that out early, the deadline they were given was to give us a score by the end of the year.
Okay.
So I don't have any.
Okay.
I haven't heard.
I just wondered.
And really with that, we're kind of in limbo as far as how this is all gonna work out
Yeah,
with
I
the
realize.
fire territory.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right. I've
That's-
heard multiple explanations.
Yeah, nobody knows for sure.
I've heard
Nobody
that
knows.
if we were forced to join with somebody else, this area could stay in the fire territory, and the other people wouldn't. The other portion wouldn't have to. It can still be contracted with whoever they're contracted with. I've heard the reverse of that we would immediately be separated. So I've been trying to prepare
Is
for both
this a
alternatives.
state thing or a
Yeah.
county? It's the whole
It's a-
state.
The whole state's getting the shakeup. This is affecting every township except for Marion. I think.
Of
I think
course,
Marion,
that's
of course.
Indianapolis.
Right, and they will not be impacted. They were spelled out, but other than that, I think it's entirely the state. The governor signed it. When I had the meeting and I said, I don't think you signed it.
Yeah, that,
He had
I
signed
remember
it.
that, yeah.
I was late on that for about a week somehow.
Not something I'm real happy with.
No,
I was
I'm not
against
either.
it, and I spoke my mind to, was it Ryan Teshka? He's a politician.
Our legislature
Yeah.
representative, yeah.
He was against it. Jim Pressel voted for it over here in LaPorte County. I do not like anything about it because to me it takes away the power from the local people.
Absolutely.
And I'm not a fan
And
of
we're
it.
all so different.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lake, and that makes us who we are in a way.
I agree. So I was really pretty hot,
Yeah.
upset that and they ramrodded it through. That's the sad. They ramrodded it through fast.
And what's the reasoning behind the whole thing?
Well, frankly, there are a lot of townships in Indiana that I understood. I went down to one of the educational sessions, the state called meetings, which that might be something to remind me. State called meetings, state requirements, training. Probably should discuss. But at one of those, I was sitting around just chumming it up with the rest of the trustees and board members, and there are a lot of townships that don't have the funds to buy a computer to do anything. There's funds that can't provide fire protection. There's towns that
Yeah.
can't clean up their cemetery because there's just no population. The population really has in some areas completely disappeared and gone to cities. Now we're in a unique position. We're nestled between two cities, you know.
Mhm.
But in a lot of places, they can't keep up. And in other places where maybe they have the revenue but they're not doing their job, that's why the point system is supposed to be. Blanking the word, but it's based on metrics. It's not, they're deciding who's going with who. It's, are you doing your job? Well, you probably don't have to merge. But there's a guarantee we have some points because our population is small enough and we are in a fire territory that we already have a few points there. So it is really, I think, not that they're coming from I don't think they're trying to be cruel or anything, but they're trying to clean up the townships too, because there are some
So
bad
if,
things.
for instance, Hudson merged with Wills,
For instance.
okay, assuming that we have three advisors, they have three advisors and a trustee
So
on both sides.
I understand, and it's been said to me a few times this way, that it depends on who's the receiving party. So I've spoken to Brian, actually we attended one of his meetings, and he's very optimistic, maybe a little bit more optimistic than me. I don't know, but he was very optimistic that he's at no risk of consolidation, which is great for Wills. I don't think we're going to have to consolidate either, but under the circumstance that we do join with them and that they're the receiving party, I understand that our board and I would vacate and that they would operate until the next election. That is my understanding.
But also,
And if it was the reverse and they had more points and we had 3 or less, it would be the reverse and we'd be operating. So
but also, at the next election, there would actually be less representatives for a larger area.
Right.
yeah,
One
absolutely.
trustee and 3 advisors.
I think Brian might have said he thought it would be 4, but still, compared to 6, let's say 3 and 3 here
Right.
and 3 over there.
Yeah.
But it's an election, there's no saying that where they're coming from.
Well,
No, we'd be all one jurisdiction. There's no, they're not going to create subdivisions of, well, you get one person from the former county, one person from the former county, and one at large.
just nobody.
You just got to make
knows.
sure that you show up.
Yeah.
Even if, God forbid, we're merged into somebody else, to make sure that our lake is looked after and that the interests of this place are represented, whether it's, somebody from the community needs to run and make sure that we're representing our interests in whatever greater whole we become a part of in that case. But unless there's anything else to say on that.
No, good.
Okay, I think we'll wrap that up. Training and state called meetings. I have not made a state called meeting. I'll have to. It's been 2 years since my last one, so I'll have to make an effort when those dates get published. I'll have to maybe catch up on those. You guys are welcome to join me for that. I don't think you're required to as a board member. We are all required to do some. I want to say 40 hours of training. That seems high to me though. We're all required to do some amount of training this year. New bill last year, so I will. I'll watch this and take my notes. I will get in touch with you guys about sites that you can it's just basically watch a YouTube video, pay attention, and then fill out a form that says you took the training. We'll do enough of those, and that just shows that we're trying to be proactive and learn about our positions. So that should be incoming.
Fire territory update, really, everything has basically been focused on this whole township merging deal, trying to figure out what's gonna happen with that. Otherwise, the talk of getting a new fire station out by the IEC somewhere, so.
In the neighborhood of that,
Would that be an additional fire station?
On the GM
So they would still
property.
have the one in New Carlisle and then an additional one
Yep,
in St. Joe County?
it will be on the GM property. GM donated 15
Okay.
acres, I believe.
Okay.
On Larison.
Yeah, donated 15 un-GMable acres for a fire department, so.
What are they doing with that GM plant?
I don't know, but man, they did a lot in a short period of
It's
time.
getting bigger.
I drove past it on Dingus Day, and I was like, holy crap.
I've heard a lot of rumor about this, that, and the other thing happening there, but I don't think anybody really knows right now.
No.
I think Samsung's probably not very happy, but that's just hearsay. KFEX. So I spoke to y'all. We got the one out at the Porta John out at the baseball field, so they're ready to.
Oh, you did get it out there.
I
Okay,
called
good.
them. Actually, I haven't driven by it, so I presume it's out there because
it's there.
David's not. Yeah.
I saw.
I figure we're gonna hold off on the beach for some time.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So just we'll play that by ear. Let me know.
Memorial Day.
Before
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
Memorial
We-
Day.
A week before, yeah.
Very good. So
And maybe there's some way, because you have them heavy cement things there. If you have some way to strap it to one of the hoses, so you can't.
what? So it doesn't get pushed over on side.
I mean, they have holes on the bottom to where you can like drive, most of them do now, where you can drive like stakes through,
Rerun or something through there.
just,
Yeah, I wonder if they would probably do that for us if
I
we
mean,
lost
hasn't
it.
it been tipped over every year?
why don't you ask Mike?
Yeah, I can mention that.
Why don't you ask Mike or Leanne or whoever you talk to and see if they have a model or a version, like an anti-tip model.
Well, I'm happy to do that. I would just say, I know I'm kind of teasing when I say it got tipped over. Last year it was tipped over about this much against somebody's fence, which is not cool. I'm not trying to make light of that, but Fortunately, it wasn't the other way where it really would have spilled out.
And you know what? The wind blows them over too. I mean, they blow over on my job sites all the time. All the time. So wind, and especially coming down that lake, hitting the beach, southwest wind in the summer,
Oh, yeah.
it's a very good possibility it could have gotten blown over too. Just saying.
Moving on from KFX, we did last meeting. We went forward with Lawnscape LLC. I haven't gotten them the contract. I told him, I looked at it today and saw, oh my gosh, I hadn't got that over to him. So I have that paperwork. I'm going to get that to him. Fortunately, I don't think he needs to get out immediately, but he probably will.
Well, grass is starting to grow, man.
It's starting to grow.
I
So
mean, it got green in a hurry, didn't it?
we'll get that started.
They did a great job last year. I'm real happy with what they did. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think Wyand is best price. I mean, you can't
Oh,
beat
yeah.
best price. That's what I have thought to go through for old business. Would you like to talk about future plans, new business?
no, I think we've kind of already hit on it. I mean, fish project,
Well,
AWS.
for the camera,
Oh, well,
all of it.
what's that?
So we had a conversation. I was contacted by Georgette Joyce. I believe she's the secretary for Hudson Lake Conservation Association. She reached out and to a representative of AWS doing like a community outreach. It's a similar thing as a couple. I think was it last year or the year before? Not that long ago when we partnered with HLCA and AWS to bring electricity to the park. But Georgette wanted to get with us and ask if we had any projects that she could put into, I guess, a grant or a request for AWS to help us accomplish some of those projects. In that interest, I reached out to Roger, who's been working on his project, which is stocking the lake. Would you like to speak on that?
As I contacted Clear Creek Fisheries down in Martinsville, and to find out if the price of fish was the same as it was last year, and it pretty much is. So I have the numbers for red ears and also walleye,
Excellent.
and I'll put together something breaking it down per fish and what we're thinking towards. And I have Georgette's numbers, so I will text that to her this week.
Excellent. You had mentioned you were going to talk to a scientist in the DNR about you had some concerns, just making sure that it was going to be good.
The biologist for DNR, she's located down in North Hudson.
Okay.
And I called her and I'm waiting for her to return my call. And I just want to know specifically walleye, whether or not it could have ill effect on any of the other population of our lake.
Absolutely.
You know, the
That's an
red
important
ears,
question.
I'm all for the red ears, you know. Walleyes would be nice, but they are very expensive. So if we can get, you know, if we can get the money for it, then
We're lucky to take out some of these 12-inch bass.
yeah. There's quite a food chain out here.
Oh, there
And
is.
even when I talked to her, she said that she would not okay stocking bass or bluegill because the number of bass and the times bluegills will spawn 3 times a year, and so
But she's okay with red ears.
she's okay with raiders, which I think they only spawn once a year. And so I'll talk to her
Excellent. Excellent.
soon. I'll try to call her again tomorrow if she doesn't get back with me.
Well, good walleye population here would be awesome. Everybody loves walleyes. They're fantastic eating. And I think this is a good environment at the lake bottom for walleyes. I think it is.
I'm very interested to hear if the biologist thinks there might be anything off, but that's very exciting.
My
Glad
guess
you're
is
moving
if she
forward.
already said she's okay with walleyes.
Did you
going in,
mention that?
I asked her.
Oh, okay.
when
I
she-
missed it.
Because initially I wanted to talk about hybrid bluegills.
Mm.
Hybrid bluegills are predominantly male,
Mm.
so they don't reproduce.
Wow.
But it's still part of that. Bluegills, he said, she won't okay bluegills. I said, well then how about red ears? Okay, I'm going with red ears. I said, well then how about walleye?
Okay.
She says, you know what? I would okay walleye.
Yeah.
All right.
And so then I went to contacting fisheries and found this one in Martinsville who
I think
said they could supply.
our well, let's see how AWS comes back, but as far as, whatever, the $5 to fill out the form that the DNR is gonna need, the permit,
$10.
$10.
Yeah,
We already approved that, we'll probably approve it again just as a formality, but thank you for updating us on that. I had also spoken to an interest of mine, particularly when Georgette approached me with the offer to partner once more with HLCA and AWS, was baseball field. Baseball field seeing a lot of use. We have 2 different teams on there using it multiple days a week, having extra days for if there's rain or busyness out there. We have more teams that are interested in using it, including possibly a team from in town, but I don't want to speak on that now that it's formalized. But we have some issues with the field. I understand that David, under its current condition, is interested in playing at other fields until we get some things sorted out. So I approached David. I said, I want you to put together your wish list, give me the prices, and we're going to put it to Georgette Joyce and have her propose it to AWS, and hopeful for that to go well. So those things would be leveling the field, bleachers. He had mentioned some other plans. I'm not sure what they'll exactly go for, but all good things there, and hopefully you can get back to myself and Georgette here shortly.
Bigger go home.
And then
Playground equipment, upgrade, pickleball courts, I mean, the sky's the limit, so.
Yeah. We do have a timeline going though, because we want to get those numbers in so AWS can get back to us. And I we have the capital improvement plan still, so I still don't really understand how that works, and that maybe something I need to work on. So let me get researching that, and I will come back and maybe we can look into using some of the CIP money on what AWS doesn't want to work on.
I'm sorry, I don't know what AWS stands for.
That is Amazon. It's Amazon Web Services.
Okay.
Like all these companies have multiple, bodies of them, and AWS is the server portion of the business. So, and that's the division that has the public relations that Georgette's going to. All right. Well, that's new business. Anything else new? I mean, we got a beautiful summer coming along. I'm sure it's going to be a hot one.
It's gonna be great, can't wait.
All right.
I'm ready for it after this winter.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, if there's nothing else,
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
motion. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming. Ciao.
Pat, thanks for coming.
You're welcome. When you mentioned Leanne, do you mean Leanne Downs?